Biography of Sir Thomas Stamford Beckley Raffles. Sir Thomas Stamford Beckley Raffles, or Sir Thomas Raffles, was a British statesman, Lieutenant Governor of the Dutch East Indies, and Lieutenant Governor of Barcelona, best known for his founding of modern Singapore and British Malaya. He was heavily involved in the conquest of the Indonesian island of Java from Dutch and French military forces during the Napoleonic Wars and contributed to the expansion of the British Empire. He was born off the coast of Jamaica near Port Moran on the deck of the Ann ship on July 6, 1781. His father's name is Benjamin Raffles and his mother is Anne Light Linderman. The Raffles family hailed from Beverley in the East Riding of Yorkshire, but he had moved to London prior to his birth by way of Berwick-upon-Tweed. Raffles entered an academy as a boarder in Hammersmith. In 1795, at the age of 14, Raffles was withdrawn from school and began working as a clerk in London for the British East India Company, situated at the East India House. He married Olivia Mary Fancourt in 1985, but Olivia died on 26 November 1914. Then, on February 22, he married his second wife, Sophia Hu. Exploration of Raffles in Java. In 1817, Raffles wrote a book called History of Java that tells the history of Java from ancient time and was knighted by the father of Princess Charlotte, who was close to him. When he wrote the book, he stopped using his first name, Thomas, and used his middle name, Stamford, to avoid confusion amongst his associated with Sir Thomas Safostre and his cousins that bore the same name. So, in Singapore, he commonly referred to him as Sir Stamford Raffles instead of Sir Thomas Raffles. Exploration of Raffles in Sumatra. In 1818, Raffles was promoted to Governor of Bengkulu. This opportunity was used by Thomas Stamford Raffles to explore the forests of Sumatra by employing botanists and animalists outside the trade imperialism mission assigned by the British Empire. While exploring the forest, the botanist Raffles discovered a large corpse flower and named it Rafflesia arnoldi, based on the name of Thomas Raffles. Raffles sailed to Malacca to negotiate a commercial treaty with the local chief of the Riau archipelago. Raffles secured the permission to set up a settle wherein Malaysian history the name Lion City was applied and was in place where it intercepted trading routes from China, Europe, and many powerful countries. Raffles surveyed Singapore and decided to use it as a colonial base. He requested the presence of the Sultan or anyone who has the power over Singapore. Later, Hussein Shah of Johor signed the formal treaty. Hussein Shah of Johor was the crown prince of Johor, but when he went to Pahang to get married, his father died and his brother was made sultan. Raffles recognized Hussein Shah as being the rightful ruler of Johor on behalf of the British crown. Raffles secured the transfer of control to the East India Company by declaring the foundation of what was to become modern Singapore on 6 February. Raffles established schools and churches and allowed local business to flourish. Confident that Vanquard would follow his instruction well, he sailed for Barcelona once again on 28 June. Raffles was pleased at the fact that Singapore had grown exponentially in such short years. The colony was a pulsating hub of trade and activity. However, Vanquard's development work was proved unsatisfactory, and Raffles drew up the Jackson Plan. Finally, Raffles returned to England on August 22, 1824, over a year after he left Singapore. His longest tenure in Singapore was only 8 months, but he was considered the founder of Singapore nevertheless. Thomas Stamford Raffles died at the age of 45 on July 5, 1826. His death was due to suffering from stroke. His scientific studies made him one of the pioneers of Java studies. His book and notes are sources of Western ideas about Javanese society and culture. In addition to living writings, the Javanese enthusiast have a great achievement in his country England. He was the first person to bring gamelan instrument out of the land of Java, and Raffles also had the idea of the need to write the history of the land of Java, which had its own charm and search. Achievement about flora-fauna, he stayed through the establishment of the London Zoo and the Zoological Society of London.